Hey, what is up, Crossroads Church? I am here with some friends, and we are starting a video devotional series called Building a House of Prayer. And it's just that. Over the next month or so, we are going to be doing some of these video devotionals, talking about different prayer topics that we can all join in on for becoming a house of prayer. Prayer is a huge part of the life of a church, a part of the life of a believer. And so we're really excited about these. So we ask that you would join us. And today I have some guests as we kick this off. On the far side, we have our lead pastor, Pastor Jeff Phelps. And next to him, we have Tom Wetzel, who's the chair of this next campaign that you've heard about or you're going to be hearing about. And so what these are is I'm just going to be asking some questions. We're just going to be having a conversation. And this is going to be the kickoff to this devotional series. So as we begin, you guys, thanks for joining us. This is really fun.
Thanks, Tyler.
I'm excited about this. I'm going to start with you, Jeff. Jeff, why don't you give us a little backstory? Let me look this up here. What is the PACE campaign? What is the season of the life of our church? What's happening here? Why are we doing this?
Yes. Cool. About 20 plus years ago, the leadership of our church set out to prepare plans for the future of Crossroads before we even had a building. We were meeting in Southwest and then the new high school. And with an architect, they came up with 2 phases of a 3-phase building project. And we have so far completed 2 phases, kind of in early 2000s. We have a gymnatorium, what I call, that's where we worship. Sancnatorium is another term for it, but it's a multi-purpose space. Is our auditorium, and then we have a family ministry wing. But the 3rd phase is an auditorium, a permanent auditorium. And so where we're at in the life of our church is we've seen some significant growth at Crossroads. And we're bursting at the seams, not only in our family ministry spaces, but in our auditorium. We've added a 3rd service. And 3 services are pretty challenging on a Sunday morning for volunteers, for staff, for my voice, all kinds of things. So we have come to the point in our church where we need to expand. We need to expand our facility. We do need to build our 3rd phase, and that's what PACE is about.
Man, that's amazing. So obviously we're in a fun season of our church. We're looking ahead. We're excited about this new worship center, all this new facility that's going to happen to do ministry. It's really, really exciting. You'll notice there's going to be finances involved. There's going to be the Lord is going to have to provide on that front. But before any of that, we're here and we're talking about prayer. Tom, what is the role of prayer? Why are we talking about this so much? Just, give us your thoughts here.
Yeah, we started our capital campaign team, Tyler, back in September of 2022. And one of the first things that we did is we formed a prayer team. Prayer is central and critical to this campaign. Yeah. There are so many examples we have in Scripture of how prayer has been used by the Lord, used by the people of the Lord to bring requests to Him, to praise and give thanksgiving to Him first and foremost. Yeah. And so we are praying and asking for prayers right now to have the Lord provide the provisions that we need for this campaign. There's a big number that's going to be put out here for this campaign, but yet God is capable. God is so capable. Amen. We have seen time and time again how His miracles work. Even here at Crossroads in the past years, we've seen that where it occurs. I think of the story of Jesus and the loaves and fishes. Yeah. And Jesus, before He started that, He prayed to the Lord before that. Yeah. And so it is absolutely central and critical to what we're doing here. And we've got this prayer team that's been activated, and each week there's prayers that are going out to an enlarged prayer team that are praying over these specific issues that we have with this, because we know He is a God that listens and hears our prayers and responds to them when we're praying in His will especially.
That's amazing. Thanks. So one more question regarding those things, and either of you are free to answer this. So we're talking about building a house of prayer here at Crossroads. Is this something that is just only for, and we all know the answer to this, but is this something that's only for this campaign, or does this keep going after? What does that look like?
Yeah, I'll start.
That's a spontaneous question.
Pastor Jeff, yeah, no,
I'll
let Jeff jump in on this too. But Tyler, your team has been instrumental in trying to bring this forward with this thought about a house of prayer and to increase and elevate how we as a congregation view prayer and how we use prayer.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that this can be a huge part of what this campaign is about, is that it can turn us into this house of prayer. It can turn us into a place where people seek God more clearly. They speak to Him. They listen for His responses because He does respond. And I think that both from a corporate standpoint, from the congregation standpoint, and individually, we can activate that prayer in such a way that we can change things here within this congregation, within the community, within the area, and it can have an eternal impact. So I truly believe and pray that that will happen, that we will activate ourselves in an exciting and powerful way.
My goodness. Thank you.
Yeah. It's been cool to see how just in our culture, prayer has come to the forefront. The football player from the Buffalo Bills who went down and everyone prayed, and that's all people could do is pray. And it's one thing to pray in our desperation. That's obviously that's good. Because there's nowhere else we can go but the Lord. But we should realize that we're desperate every day, and that we need the Lord every day. And so, if I think the fun part about the prayer side of PACE is that it's an excuse to grow in our prayer. And prayer is part of our purpose statement at Crossroads, to prayerfully introduce people to Jesus. And we used to lay that out, that sentence of our purpose out, and prayer stands separate on its own. That prayer is such a central part of our faith. And it's about leaning on the Lord through the good, the bad, the highs and the lows, that every day we walk with the Lord.
That's so good. I've heard it said that prayer is kind of the fuel that fuels a church. Like, it's the part of the foundation. You preached this last Sunday here at Crossroads, and you talked about building our house on a firm foundation. I think prayer, we can all agree, prayer is a major part of that, having that firm foundation. It can fuel everything we do. And one of the reasons Crossroads is growing and getting bigger is because we're a praying church. And so we're really, really excited about this series, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us over the next month. Again, we're going to be sharing different topics that we're going to talk about. It's not just praying for finances for this next phase. We're going to be talking about spiritual warfare and intercession, and we're talking about giving thanks to God even before things happen. And so it's going to be an amazing time where we learn how to pray together. And one last thing, if you guys were at church this last Sunday, you got these daily devotional cards. You can still get these. Come back next week. You can come get them on Sunday. But as a church, these are devotional cards that we will be praying as a church for the same things each and every day. And so we'll be joining together as a church family along this PACE series, praying for the same things. It's going to be powerful. So join us. Keep watching these videos. We cannot wait to see what the Lord does. And let's build a house of prayer here at Crossroads, even more than it already is. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And we're excited for this next season. God bless. Thanks, guys.